come the morning, oh, I'll be gone.
State parks are coming to Pennsylvania, including one right here in the Mid-State. Governor Tom Wolf announced the new parks in his native York County this morning. Sonica Bargo joins us now with more on that. Sonica.
Dennis, state officials say outdoor spaces like these state parks became even more important during the pandemic. The new parks give people more opportunities to get outside and appreciate what the state has to offer.
Well, good morning once again, my friends, and welcome to southern Chester County, the home of the newest state park in the Pennsylvania state park system, Big Elk Creek. Now, this was just recently designated as a state park, so this is my first time ever checking this place out. There's not even any signs indicating yet that it's a Pennsylvania state park, but there is a trail here. It runs for 2.1 miles along Big Elk Creek. It's called the Springlawn Trail. So we're going to do a preliminary exploration of the park here, and I'll be telling you more about it as we go. So let's check it out. Thanks for joining me for some nature, adventure, and discovery. All right, so the trail we're walking on here is Springlawn Trail, but it was formerly a road. It's very wide, it's a very firm footpath. It's used for trail running, jogging, dog walking mainly. And before this became an official state park, it was land owned by, I believe, Elk Township here in Chester County. So again, 1,700 acres. We are parked on Route 841, and we are heading south for 2.1 miles here on Springlawn Trail. It's a very windy, very chilly morning here. We're about 1 week out from Thanksgiving, and we're in that time period I call the dog days of hiking and filming, where you know, all the color and splendor of fall has passed, and everything has turned brown and gray. It's very hard as an amateur filmmaker to make really compelling films in these kinds of conditions, but we're going to do the best we can here. It's all part of the cycle of the seasons, and as I've said before, that's really my favorite part of living in this part of the country, is you truly have 4 seasons, and each one has its good and bad parts. But yeah, everything is kind of lifeless right now, so it's a little bit of a bummer. So I just spotted this little sign here. We just walked over this little bridge, and it looks like there's a little trail out to Big Elk Creek. So let's go down there and check that out. Here's our first look at Big Elk Creek off of the Spur Trail. Now, Big Elk Creek is a tributary of the Big Elk River. We're just above the border with Maryland, the Mason-Dixon line. So this creek will run into the Big Elk River and then ultimately into the Chesapeake Bay. Now check this out, guys. Off to the right is the remnants of an old building, the ruins of an old structure. Let's check it out. Sometimes when you're looking for these type of things, it's better to do so in the winter, because you can see a lot more clearly with all the vegetation down. Wait till you see this. Oh, super cool. Oh, this is awesome. Now there's a lot of brush back here. It's pretty hard to maneuver, but these are pretty decent ruins of an old stone home here. And off that way is a wall about 20 feet high, and it comes down to this here. It's really hard to guess the age of these kind of buildings. You can see it is stone. I almost see what looks like some plaster. I'm gonna guess between 100 and 150 years. There's a little window, and continues to another wall there, a corner. So a fairly substantial building back here. It's so cool to come across these types of old buildings. I don't know that anyone else has yet documented these buildings here. I may be the first, but as I get choked by a vine. Wow, super cool spot. And we're just past that first old ruin, and we have another one here, and this one looks even cooler. Wow, right along the creek here. Check this out. Now here we are in the inside of the building, and I wonder again if this was a mill at some point. You can see the outline of an old chimney down to the fireplace. Man, this is just awesome. Beautiful. Well, now you can see here what would have been some type of joists and some type of floor. So either we're in a basement or on the first floor, and then there would have been a second floor above us. And you can almost see another indication there. So maybe there was 3 stories here at one point. The first one up there, then the second one, and the third one. Wow, so awesome. Now, I just talked to a friendly local gentleman who told me that there's several more buildings that can be found throughout this area, and apparently there was an old rail line at the turn of the century on the other side of the creek, and there's some remnants of the rail line as well. So lots of history here, and culture, and in addition to the nature. So very cool. What a great find. I'm so glad I came to check this place out, and I'm so glad you came along to join me. Thank you so much. This is exactly the type of relaxing walk I was hoping to do today. Believe it or not, it's been 4 weeks since I've been out on the trail. I got so backed up with videos from West Virginia and my recent hike with the Wandering Woodsman, and my computer files were all backed up, and I was out of memory and having all kinds of technical problems that I needed to just get all of that finished before I could get a fresh start and start again. So it's a Sunday morning. The Eagles are playing at 1. I'm going to check that game out, but it's nice to be out here in the morning as I sit down on this bench and just have this relaxing walk with you guys here. at a brand new place. Alright guys, here's another one of these maps. So we've been coming along this way and we're right here. Now let's take this little spur trail, or another spur trail that follows along and then loops back to the main trail here. We'll see if there's anything interesting down along the creek there. I am going to call this spot Big Elk Beach because there's a little hole here that's about, I don't know, hard to tell from here, 8-10 feet down maybe, and I bet you this is a little swimming hole here. So we're about 1 3/4 mile into the hike, and it's 2.1 miles end to end. So if you do the whole thing, it's 4.2 miles total. And I've come across a few dog walkers and a trail runner. This is a nice spot here above the Big Elk Creek down there. But it's going to be interesting to see what the Pennsylvania State Park system does with the with this area, how much they develop it or not. So it's something we'll keep our eyes on. But if you want a nice relaxing walk, that's a good spot. Nice and easy walking. And you got to remember, this is probably the least colorful time of the year. So I imagine in spring, fall, summer, you're going to get a lot more vibrancy and life to the area. So yeah, nice spot. Nice Sunday morning stroll. So once again, as we're getting near the end of the trail here, we have a nice hillside to the right, and then the Big Elk Creek to the left, and then looks like some farmland or open space beyond the creek, which is basically pretty typical for this region of southern Chester County. I even seen a few Amish buggies on my way when I drive in this morning. So we're in that transitional stage between like suburban and semi-rural landscape. right, so we've made it to the end of the trail, 2.1 miles, and I drove past this end early this morning, and the parking here is very limited. Now, the gentleman that I spoke to off camera had said that there are at least four structures back here. We only saw two, so maybe in that one spot where we took the spur trail down to Big Elk Beach, maybe there was a structure along the main trail there. But otherwise, I'm going to be making my return now, and I won't be doing too much filming unless I come across anything interesting. So thanks for joining me here, and we'll see if I can find any more of these old ruined buildings here. All right, guys, I was just getting ready to say my goodbye for the video. I was heading back to the entrance where I started. I was preparing my thoughts and saying that I had talked to a local resident who said there were at least four ruined structures or foundations of buildings here. We clearly saw two of them, and I was looking for the other two, but I couldn't find them. And I just stumbled upon this spot here, which is another foundation of a building. It's not in nearly as good of a shape. The weeds are really taking it over, but that would make at least three now that I've come across. So there is some stuff buried in these woods here, but this one is not in really very good shape, and it's being taken over by the vegetation. But I would have liked to have found that fourth one, or there may even be more. So it's an interesting spot here at Big Elk Creek, and I'll be signing off when I get back to the car, but I'm glad that I found at least three known building foundations and structures here within the along the trail here, Springlawn Trail. So curiosity is getting the best of me here, and I'm traveling through the brush because I've seen all these like unnatural looking I don't know what you would call them, like berms or elevated areas. There's definitely something going on here at some point, and I've come across this giant massive rock wall here. So this may have been related to a railroad at some point. This looks like something that there may have been a bridge going across the creek. That's what I'm thinking, because this is not a house. This is a massive wall, some type of infrastructure. But yeah, you get a better look at it there with the moss. So I'm not really an expert on these type of like old ruins and things. You'd have to, there's other channels and individuals who are better at this kind of stuff. But yeah, something was clearly along here. You can see that elevated area with the rocks, and then you can see even a rock pile on the other side. So I think that there definitely was a bridge going across here, an old railroad bridge at some point. That's what it looks like to me. All right, my friends, I'm going to take this time to say my goodbyes here from the brand new, not even developed yet, Big Elk State Park here in Chester County, Pennsylvania. A small 2.1 mile trail. I'm sure there will be more trails developed in the future. The state has 1,700 acres here to work with. We've seen some old historical structures and nice views of the creek. And yeah, it's not a place where I'd go 100 miles to go come and see it. It's more of like right now it's just like a walking path. Like I said, seen some dog walkers, some trail runners. I did see 3 hunters walking along the trail, and there's very limited parking too. But it's a first look at Pennsylvania's newest state park. Thank you for joining me once again for some nature adventure discovery. Please give it a like. Please leave a comment. Until next time, I'll see you on the trail. Gator out.